Welcome, my dear students and listeners. And today I have brought an interesting video for you, which is about the Romantic period. The Romantic period in history of English literature starts from 1798 and almost ends in 1824. Romantic period starts from the publication of lyrical ballads written in 1798 by William Wordsworth and Coleridge. As you can see, both of them in pictures below on the screen. The first one is William Wordsworth, and the second one is Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Romanticism is actually the revolt against the classicism. The Romantic period is the most fruitful period in the history of English literature. No period in the history of English literature could produce such gigantic poets as the Romantic period did. This period was the revolt against the classicism. Romanticism is the antithesis of classicism. Classicism followed certain rules for literature, while Romantics rebelled against these strict rules and wanted liberty in literature, especially in the field of poetry. The Romantic period is sometimes called the Age of Revolutions too. The American Revolution of 1776 and the French Revolution made it a time of hope and change. William Wordsworth, influenced by these revolutions too much. Wordsworth hoped that revolution would happen in Britain too, but unfortunately, Napoleonic War broke out, and by the early 1800s, most of the Europe was at war against France. So, in many ways, the poetry of Romanticism is the poetry of war. As different periods possess different genres. In Romantic period, the main genre is poetry, and poetry was in great prominence in Romantic period. The main pioneer of Romantic period were William Wordsworth and Coleridge, as you can see both of them on the screen. As they were influenced by the French Revolution, so they also wanted revolution in poetry. The period before Romanticism was interested in town life, while the Romantics were interested in humble and rustic life. Romantics were the great worshippers and admirers of nature. Nature was the theme and subject matter of their poetry. Wordsworth was the poet of nature, while Coleridge was the poet of supernatural poetry. The main poets of the Romantic periods are William Wordsworth, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, Southey, who belong to the first generation of this period, while Byron, Shelley, and Keats belong to the second generation of this period. But both the first and second generations have same and common thoughts and feelings towards the nature. Wordsworth, Coleridge, and Southey are also known as lake poets because they lived in Lake District of England. The main features of Romantic poetry were emotions, nature, beauty, and imagination. These are the main features of Romantic period. Uh, though Romantic period specialized in poetry, but there were also some prose writers of very high rank as Charles Lamb, William Hazlitt, Thomas de Quincey. So, uh, but these prose writers were not in such a sharp contrast to 18th century as the Romantic poets were. So, in the field of novel, or novel in the Restoration period. As we mentioned before, that the main genre in the Romantic period was poetry. So apart from poetry, novel was also of some good merits. And the great novelists of the Romantic period are Jane Austen, who was a female writer, and Sir Walter Scott. Jane Austen brought balance and good sense to English novel. Uh, and apart from that, Jane Austen uh, belonged to the Romantic period, brought good sense and balance to English novel, which during the Romantic age had become too emotional and undisciplined. She published six novels, due to which Jane Austen is among the front rank of English novelists. And the second was Sir Walter Scott. Sir Walter Scott was vastly different from Jane Austen in writing novels. Jane Austen novels were mostly domestic, while Scott's novels were about adventurous life of the Highlanders. Jane Austen is exact and precise in writing novels, while Scott is digressive in his style of writing novels. The overall Romantic period is a glorious period and specialized in poetry. But unfortunately, some great poets of this period, like Shelley, Keats, and Byron, died young, and this great period came to an end quickly and unnaturally. Thank you very much. And if you are new in my channel, please subscribe my channel for more such videos on English literature and linguistics. So thank you very much and see you in next video.